Under the visionary leadership of President Ruto, we have the Digital Health Transformation Agenda. I was told that it was 27 million already registered, but President, you corrected me this morning. You say already 30.6 million. Every single day, we have around 25,000 people registering. And as Minister Dwale was telling me, by the end of this year, we can achieve almost 90% of Kenyan population registered. This is what we call leadership.
Please welcome the Director General of the Africa CDC, Dr. Jean Kaseya, to deliver the final special address.
Your Excellency, President Ruto. Oh, there is music. You want us to enjoy some music? It's working, this remote? Okay. Okay. Excellency, I was told that we wanted to celebrate what we are doing. Your leadership is following what Nelson Mandela was doing. You know, in 2010, when we were celebrating the first World Cup in Africa, Mandela made a strong statement. And he said, our future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. But at that time, we are not talking about sovereignty. You are one of the first head of state we have in Africa speaking about what it means, sovereignty. But we cannot talk about sovereignty if we are still losing a number of mothers and children in Africa. Since you arrived in this compound, Excellency, let me share with you, already 20 women passed on because they wanted to give birth. We have already 114 children, new babies who passed on, and more than 300 children under 5. It's too much. It's too much if we compare with other continents or countries with similar population. This is why you decided in February 2026 to appoint President Samia as champion to lead the agenda of maternal and child health. We hope to make progress on that. But to make progress, we need a bold vision, the vision that our continent deserves, and the vision that is coming from the leadership of our head of state. This is what we call the Africa Health Security and Sovereignty. This is the agenda that is driving us under the 5 pillars. And all of us today, all colleagues who came here, they were talking about some pillars of this vision. We know what we want in Africa. We are led by clear vision, and we are led by visionary leaders. One of the first leaders we are talking about is President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is our champion for PPPR, Pandemic Prevention and Response. We made progress in Africa. Look where we were in 2020, even in 2022. In 2-3 years, you can see the progress we made. In all areas, we managed to transform Africa from red to green. Yes, as Africa CDC, we are proud of that, but we are also working with all partners to make this one as a success story. What is the impact? The impact is, for the first time, we see a decrease in terms of outbreaks in Africa. We need a strong nexus, health, security, climate change, to continue to make this progress a successful and sustainable progress. We also made a progress in terms of local manufacturing. Excellency, when our leaders, they decided to again give you another art. I don't know how many arts you have, I was talking with you, I think 6 or 7 at African level. But we said, can you accept to be champion for local manufacturing? You accepted. The word you gave me, it was, I don't want again to see this continent being dependent. And we are dependent because we want it. Africa is manufacturing a number of products today, from Egypt, from Kenya, from South Africa, from a number of countries, but we are not buying our own product. Who is asking us not to buy our own product? Who's asking us not to register to African Medicine Agency for the regulatory aspect? It's not Germany, it's not Europe. It's ourselves. We need to change our mindset, and we count on you, Excellency. This is why you are calling for this extraordinary summit in Nairobi to discuss the end-to-end local manufacturing. We also have to discuss the health financing issue. We have our champion, President Kagame. When I was meeting President Kagame in Rwanda in October 2025, he was telling me, we need to change the paradigm. How can we accept that more than 50% of our people are paying what we call out of pocket to have access? This is not sustainable. This is not to build universal coverage. We need also to see how to reverse the trend of inefficiencies. Yes, we are doing some effort to raise more funding, but we are losing most of our funding, around 50%, due to inefficiencies. Who's telling us not to fix our system? Why are we blaming Western countries? If ourselves, we cannot do the job we need to do. Yes, let us talk about Kenya. I'm so proud to be today in Kenya. Yes, Kenya is moving. Kenya is making us proud. We can see under the visionary leadership of President Ruto, we have the digital health transformation agenda. I was told that it was 27 million already registered, but President, you corrected me this morning. You say already 30.6 million. Every single day, we have around 25,000 people registering. And as Minister Dwale was telling me, by the end of this year, we can achieve almost 90% of Kenyan population registered. This is what we call leadership. And I was briefing Prime Minister Abiy 3 days ago in Addis about what Kenya is doing, how we can take it forward in other African countries. President, you are making us proud with this program. When we talk about all of these pillars, we then talk about what's our vision for the reform of the global health architecture. I was saying to President Ruto this morning, he's making my life miserable because he is in all areas of our pillars. He was the first head of state talking about the reform of the global financial architecture that led for him to become the champion for the reform of AU. Colleagues, we are clear in Africa, and we are led by the decisions from the AU Assembly. I'm glad to announce today, this afternoon, 25 ministers from Africa will be meeting to discuss what is the voice of Africa. And I'm glad that the Vice Prime Minister of Egypt, who flew for the first time to Sub-Saharan, and this is the magical aspect of the thing, to attend and to co-chair this meeting with Minister Pate and myself, will unify the voice of Africa that will bring to the WHO World Health Assembly, but also to the G7, because President Ruto will represent us to the G7. Excellency, when we talk about all of that, when we fix our system, then we can talk about our partners. We changed the way Africa is seeing things. When I was in the cabinet a few years ago, we were talking first about partners. Today we start talking about ourselves. What can we do to fix our system, then to go to partners? Our model is led by what my sister Sanya is doing for Gavilip. Thank you, Sanya. Because we need to see partners respecting us. Yesterday I was talking with my brother Ankar, who is the president of GATE Foundation. He said to me, our GATE is aligned now to support our sovereignty agenda. We have more than 300 partners. All of them, they will respect us when we fix our own system. When we start to be more relevant, we are delivering and we are implementing the program as we need to do. Excellency, more than 300 partners are waiting for you to give guidance, to say how things will be in the future, by starting by saying how ourselves we consider the Africa we want. Then we'll fulfill what Mandela was saying again. Mandela told us, I dream of an Africa which is in peace with itself. No one will come to create peace for us if we don't build that ourselves. Thank you so much.